This is Staff Sergeant ERIK Olson, host of Warrior Summit Outdoors, and on this episode we're heading to Pheasant Valley Farm in Robesonia, Pennsylvania, the place I trained up my Labrador Retriever SARGE to upland hunt. This time a whole different experience is in store. A number of combat veterans have been invited to participate in a European-style pheasant hunt, courtesy of the owners of Pheasant Valley Farm, the Lehigh Valley Chapter of Safari Club International, Equipment and Apparel Company Cabela's, and the Keystone Warriors. Now, most of the veterans have never done a European-style pheasant hunt before. It's a unique type of hunt modeled after the traditional hunts from Europe, where pheasants are driven over a hill towards hunters at various locations or stations, typically in a 360-degree perimeter. Throughout a European-style hunt, the hunters will move from station to station in order to present all sorts of different settings and shots. It's all coming up on this episode of Warrior Summit Outdoors.
For more information on Warrior Summit Outdoors, we invite you to visit our website, www.couragehealsthesoul.com. There you'll find information about your host, ERIK Olson, some of our upcoming episodes, and more.
So I arrived at Pheasant Valley Farm in Robesonia with, a bit of apprehension, as I had never done a European-style hunt previously. So was unsure both what to expect and how I'd perform. Over breakfast, I mingled with the other veterans invited to participate, combat veterans from Iraq, Afghanistan, and Vietnam, as well as representatives from Cabela's, members of the Lehigh Valley Chapter of Safari Club International, the ownership of Pheasant Valley Farm, and the Keystone Warriors. What I did learn over breakfast was, most of the guys had never done a European-style hunt either, so we all shared a great deal of anticipation over what was in store. That said, it was helpful when we got an overview of what to expect throughout the day, as well as a safety briefing.
Today we're going to be doing a European-style hunt. So where this comes from is that their tradition in Europe of driving birds to the hunters. We're going to do 5 rounds, 50 pheasants in a round. In between each round, we're going to rotate around the hill, and we're going to go clockwise. So when you rotate, you're going to skip 1 blind. So we're going to talk about safety a little bit, which is very important. In 14 years of doing this, we have never had a hunting accident here at Pheasant Valley. We're not going to have one today. So it's the rules are simple. Nothing on the ground. Guns are unloaded before the horn blows. When the horn blows, the round is going to begin. That's when you load your guns. So you'll be in 3-sided blinds. The blinds are 75 yards apart. So no bird can get out of that circle that's not in range. So no one needs to tell me that it was too far away.
That's not a problem.
Right. So in those 3-sided blinds, in the front this year, guys that have done this shoot before, you're used to a hay bale being on those front corners. We've improved a little bit. Now we've got a half a barrel that stands that high. You got a real nice place to put your shells. So the rule is you are in that blind behind that barrel. There's chairs in there for you to sit down if you want to between rounds. There's a trash barrel. And we appreciate if you do in between rounds, pick shells up, throw your shell boxes. Any of your trash can go in those trash barrels. You can rearrange your furniture in the blind. You cannot step out of the blind during the shoot at all. There's no excuse when the guns are going off to be out of that blind. If you stay in that blind behind that barrel, you cannot physically take an unsafe shot at your neighbors in the next blind. If you step out, you absolutely can. So there are dogs actively picking up during the shoot. That's why we absolutely aren't shooting on the ground. So when you're shooting birds, again, don't leave the blind for a dead bird. Just remember where it fell. The guides are also marking those birds.
I have orange hats and vests for you guys up here, compliments of Cabela's, and I also have 3 boxes of shells for each man. Okay, so make sure they're on the tailgate of my pickup truck up there. Just stop up there and grab whatever you prefer. There's also 2 cases of water in there, so if you want to take water with you out in the field, we'll have bottled water. You know, just help yourselves, okay? And just help, have a good time.
And in every round, there'll be a prize bird. So that prize bird, for all these years, has always been a rooster with a fluorescent orange ribbon. This year, it's going to be those white birds.
Oh, nice.
Every prize bird will be a white bird.
White bird.
So, but I have 10 of them for 5 rounds, okay? So in round number 5, there may be one coming out with a ribbon if I run out of white birds. I figured 10 ought to do it.
It's pheasant hunting time. And this time we're doing things with a little bit of a different twist to it. We're going to be doing a European hunt in the morning and a normal flushing hunt to get the scratch birds in the afternoon. So we're going to start it off by doing a little bit of clay pigeon shooting, get us ready for the birds that are going to be coming up on us, and we'll see how the vets do. So stick around. I started the day at a station with fellow Afghanistan veteran BRENT HEFFERAN, who had accompanied me on some past adventures with Warrior Summit Outdoors. We were both pumped for the hunt to begin. We were also happy great guides and dogs had our six to retrieve any birds we shot. And we hoped to get a few prize birds in the form of either white pheasants or pheasants with streamers. Alright, so we're finally at our spot and we're getting ready to start the hunt. We're waiting for the horn to blow before the birds start coming. We're using a 12 gauge, and at this spot you'll be able to see, when the camera pans to it, that we're pretty much on the low end of the hill, so the birds are going to be flying high and fast. Now what I'm using is, just on this low area, I'm using 3-inch shells, 3-inch number 5 shells. And as we move around the area to move to a different spot on higher ground, I'll probably just go back to the 2 3/4-inch number 5 rounds. So hopefully we get some birds in here and let's see how we do. Yeah, baby, the competition kicked off with a surprise. Right out of the gate, a white pheasant, and I was determined to score early.
I should have said, yeah, I shot it.
Well, right off the bat, first one in here, we got the money bird. Good times. After station 1, we moved to other stations throughout the morning to try our luck. This is the spot that I saw in the last one most of the birds were coming to. So hopefully we'll get the same amount of birds coming to us this time as the other guys did. And hopefully we don't miss. So I think we're doing pretty good so far. Well, we finished up the European hunting in the morning, and as you can see, we got a lot of birds. A lot of birds. So this afternoon we're going to go out after we have a nice lunch, and we're going to see if we can flush up the scratch birds from the ones that we missed this morning. And there's a lot of them out there because it is a little humbling. We did miss quite a few, and we did get quite a few. So all in all, it was a good morning. Hopefully the afternoon will get that much better. Once we were all refueled, it was time to go after the scratch birds on the afternoon hunt. We opted to split into two groups. One that I was in, heading to the woods to look for pheasant hiding in creek beds and among the fallen leaves. The other group heading to rolling wheat fields and cornfields. Property at Pheasant Valley Farm is so vast with such diverse terrain. There were lots of spots for the birds to be. Fortunately, we had some great bird dogs with each group. A lot of determined veterans and a focused mission: bag more birds. So we decided after this the European hunt this morning, we're now working the fields, and right now we're actually working the woods. We've already got some birds. We're working our way back from where we started, then we're going to work the other side of the bank. I think we're going to be able to find a lot more birds that way, and it's been another great day, so let's hope we go get some more birds.
Here and push that bank around.
Bank usually has a bunch of birds, guys.
Yes.
All right, yeah, you can stay just a little further ahead. We'll just go out through here real easy, work the dogs. see, sometimes the scars of war are visible. Other times, the scars of war are invisible. But regardless of the type of wound a veteran has, there's a real sense of healing that comes from time in the outdoors, especially when that time is spent with other veterans. Great day, one none of us would soon forget. It was good hearing directly from several of the combat veteran participants about their experience throughout the day, and importantly, how events like this really help in the healing process of veterans.
Even if you're not into the outdoors, you know, you got to find something to get you out of that bubble. You know, if you're just sitting at home and you stay in that bubble, it's not good. You know, you need to get out, talk to people, find an outlet that you can put your energy and time into, get you away from that, you know, those inner demons, you know, all the medications and stuff like that. You know, for some of us, you know, before we were injured and stuff, we enjoyed the outdoors. So that just seems to be the easiest avenue for us to take. I mean, even I've met a lot of guys that didn't hunt or fish before their accidents, and you know, now that they've discovered that, it's hard to not get them to do it anymore. But yeah, the staying inside, keeping yourself, you know, in your bubble, and just trying to deal with that stuff. Sometimes it's not the easiest thing to do by yourself. You know, get out, talk to other vets. They seem to understand what you're going through more than, you know, a doctor or anybody else like that. And you know, you can make a friendship, and it'll help you get out of that bubble and you know, get past those inner demons and stuff. It's definitely worth it, you know, because nobody wants to see another vet, you know, put in the ground.
Any veteran that has a problem with any kind of domestic issues, substance abuse, or any kind of issue at all whatsoever, you know, combat-related injuries, you know, that's a big one, or any combination of the above. Sitting at home and self-medicating and going through any kind of domestic issues you have, or any past military-related issues that you may have, getting into the outdoors and being outside, getting the fresh air, being able to use a firearm in a respectful, proper way as a tool, not a weapon, you know, it really, for me personally, it brings peace of mind. It's a big stress reliever. I get to come out here, whether you miss a pheasant or you miss a deer or you miss a turkey, no matter what it is, no matter what, as long as you get to shoot or see the game that's out here, and I respect nature for what it is, and respect your fellow comrades and your hunters, you know, civilian or veteran or military or any combination of, it's just a great time. And I would highly recommend just getting out and making new friends, and not starting a self-destructive pattern that can really lead to a suicide or your death.
Today was great. Getting together with a bunch of guys that you have a lot in common. There's kind of a brotherhood amongst us, and after leaving the service and all your buddies and comrades go your separate ways, it's hard to find that again unless you have Army buddies that live nearby. So getting together for this pheasant hunt is great, because you're sharing experience with a bunch of people you have a lot in common with, that have been through some of the same things that you have been through. And it's very therapeutic getting outside, getting outdoors. You know, a lot of these guys, including myself, you know, don't get out very much. We don't like being around too many people, but we're comfortable around each other. So, you know, being outside and being outdoors is it's saving a lot of these guys' life. So
Pheasant shoot. This is our 5th year for this pheasant shoot, where we sponsor 10 veterans to come out here on a beautiful day like today and just walk the fields and shoot birds, and great camaraderie, a really good time. We also sponsor a Purple Heart antelope hunt in Montana for 4 veterans every year. We've been doing that now for 13 years, so we've sent now 52 veterans there. Again, it's a complete day for the veteran, or a week for the veterans out there in Montana, where they travel there. Their travel's taken care of, their accommodations, the hunting, and then also when the animal comes back, we have local taxidermists that donate shoulder mounts for these guys, so they don't have to pay for anything. Yeah.
So thank you again, Tim.
Thank you.
We really appreciate everything.
Appreciate everything you guys did.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Of course, we had a little bit of everything today. Did a nice European tower shoot this morning, and then we went out in the afternoon looking for scratch birds. And I have to really thank Keystone Warriors and Lehigh Valley Safari Club International and Cabela's for sponsoring this event and putting it on for all of us veterans. It took a lot of courage for these guys to come out and do this, and as I've always said, courage heals the soul.